Hi everyone and welcome to Pace Yourself. I'm Mia Pacey and today we're talking about part 2 of our Lightning Web Component deployment using Claude Code. So here in my dev org, you can see the component down here on the left is a bit shabby. It's not the greatest that we could build, but it is doing its job. But what we are going to do now is actually make it look better, but in Claude Design. So the first thing I need to do is get a prompt from Claude Code that I then paste into Claude Design so that it understands the concept and the build criteria and what it will do in the long run. Also, I need to remind it about the guardrails of Salesforce and what it can work within, as well as any design ideas I have, like coloring or brand guidelines. Okay, great. As it's working on that one, I'm actually going to go and tee up our Claude Design window and get that one ready for the prompt. So just here in Claude Web App, you can actually see the design one on the left-hand side. And once you click it, it launches Claude Design specifically. Along here, we're actually going to select prototype because these are the things that actually work and move. And I come back to Claude Design and here is our nicely curated prompt. I can actually see that I would prefer it to have some brand guidelines that are just a little bit more elaborate than the ones they've got there. And I want it to align to something like my YouTube channel, so Pace Yourself. So I'm going to give it some context by uploading some images of my YouTube channel. So I go into the little plus icon there in the chat. Then I can say upload from computer. And these are the images I'm going to upload for it to reference. Perfect. So here's the prompt, nicely curated with my brand colors that I've gave it from my photo upload from the content in my computer. And now we're going to paste this prompt into Claude Design. I'm actually, while I'm here, going to save this as a skill so that it can remember my brand next time. Oh, looks like it needs something about the skill. So I'm going to keep it nice and happy by giving it permissions as we multitask and open Claude Design. I mean, who can do one thing at a time? So in prototype, I'm going to hit go, and then it's going to take some time to go through our prompt and generate the example we're after. Claude Design does take time, so multitasking is key. So back here in our VS Code, we're just making sure that the skill file that it's updating is giving the permissions it needs. So I pop back into Claude Design and you can see it's actually created me 3 versions of the design. So the top one has got that black dark mode. The middle one here looks a bit cleaner with a big button that's like quite obvious. Ooh, the bottom one is more Salesforce branding. So still quite good and crisp, but it is very Salesforce-y. I quite like the middle one actually. This is nice here. So compared to the left lockup, I think I like the middle one. So option 1B. So I'm just going to give Claude Design a prompt to say I just want to send option 1B back into Claude Code. And super fun, we are running out of credits. Welcome to Claude Life. Okay, so we've come in here and it's now finished. On the top right, we've got this tweaks icon. We can actually move and see everything working as expected. And we can change the names of the text fields. We can show what happens when it's going to show an error if something happens that's wrong. I'm going to change the account name to Pace Yourself, of course. But if I want to share it, on the top right I hit share. You can share within your workspace. You can export it in various options. You can send to Claude Code or any of the various connectors that they've got plugged in already, like Canva. And exporting here, we actually like the project archive zip one. So you can see that on the middle right hand side here. The one for video is good if you're going to just like generally show it, or standalone HTML. On the left hand side you can see it has actually downloaded that full zip copy for me. So I'm going to save that to my downloads folder, and we're going to quickly export it. And this is the one that we're going to add back into Claude Code. So I'm going to open up my VS Code, upload back from my computer the files that it actually had created for me. And then I'm going to tell it, using the attached files, make sure our code is updated and represents what we designed. Now you can see in my VS Code here, just up above, I did actually do the share to Claude Code option where it gives you a prompt and you can copy paste it into your Claude Code. I was experiencing a difficulty with the login cycle, so I wasn't able to show you what that looks like this time, but it is virtually just the same experience. It just goes into Claude through their MCP, collects the files for itself and brings them back into Claude Code to work on it. So the same process of what we've done here, which was download that zip option in the export share button, and then attached it into here for Claude Code to mull it over, and as you can see is wandering off to find the solution. But let's see what it can make. Okay, you can see here it started to deploy all the changes to my developer org, so we can see what it looks like in real life. So it's given me a good explanation about what actually has been updated, so I can refer to those things when I'm testing it. But let's jump into my dev org. Okay, let's open up Jordan, our example contact, and look what we can see, a nice fancy LWC. So we've updated that and it's been pushed live directly into our developer environment. So let's go test it. Here we can see I'm just going to try and add a quick call. And remember, this is on a different day than when I started this first footage. So you can see it hasn't actually refreshed. So I still have to page refresh that to show you that it actually did have a update. So let's go back into Claude Code and tell it what we want it to change. So I want it to actually refresh when the relevant fields that this component work with have an update. Let's see what it comes back with. Okay, great. It looks like it has finished those updates that it wanted to do and has deployed it to my dev org. So let's go and check it out to see if it does update. So let's refresh the page for contact. And oh no, I get an error. Just double checking it's not a historical error. Gonna pop out somewhere else. Coming back into my contact, and it does look like an error that I don't actually like. So I'm going to actually ask Claude to work on this. So this is how I would do it. I'd screenshot what I'm seeing. I would then go back into my VS Code, paste that screenshot with a little explanation. So I've already talked to it about this error. And let's see what it can come back with, because it's tried to fix it already once. And it looks like it's a me issue, not a Salesforce issue. So let's go and hard refresh our page and see if the error goes away. So it looks good so far, no errors. It's critical because it hasn't had an activity. So let's go and log a call. Chitter chatter something something. What did we talk about on this call? Life. Let's go ahead and save that. Oh, and quickly on the left-hand side, you can see it's changed from critical to healthy. So it is updating on refresh. I'm really excited about that. So deleting of a related record doesn't actively update it, but it does on refresh for the page. So that's pretty good. I'm happy with that outcome. This has been the Lightning Web Component using Claude Design. Thank you for sticking around, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.